What's up guys, Jay here. I want to take you guys around my car, 2002 Honda S2000. Obviously AP1 USDM model, whatever you want to call it. And I'm trying to get some decent exhaust shots or exhaust sound shots, but I can't get them. So I think what I'm going to try to do is I've got a mount on the back right over one of my pipes, and it looks like stock exhaust. It's just got some plastic dip on it, which by the way, plastic dip works fine for exhaust tips like this. And it's got the UK Mod 1.5 inch pipe. So any kind of S2000 owners out there, you know what I'm talking about when I say UK Mod, right? It's a twin loop system, and it's basically just a bypass around the first pass through the exhaust system. So we'll take it around the neighborhood there, see if we can get some decent sounds. I'll do, you know, your typical acceleration and wide open and VTEC and blah 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 and all that other stuff. Kids are in the pool, playing in the water. It's a nice warm day, so we'll see what we can do. Alright, I think I got some pretty good footage. Took it down the road, and from what I could tell from the audio, it's actually pretty good being on the bumper. So, see if I can edit it out a little bit, make it come out a little bit more. Oh, helicopter. But the whole reason I wanted to do this with the exhaust is because originally, well, obviously when I bought the car, it had the stock exhaust on it, and of course, you know, race car, you have to have some kind of loud exhaust, right? I mean, it's a Japanese 4-cylinder rear-wheel drive. You gotta have exhaust. So asked a buddy of mine that used to have an S2000, and he had a Megan, whatever you want to call it, N1, like knockoff exhaust, and bought it from him for, I don't know, 150 bucks, something like that. It's in really good shape. So put that on there, and it was loud. He gave me a test pipe. I did not end up using it, thank God, because it would have been really loud. But it was loud with just the exhaust. And I guess about 2 years ago now, 2 years ago, something like that, I was driving down the road and I hit a bump, and that bump made a very loud tone come from my car. I said, oh my God, the exhaust is now falling off. and which is kind of surprising because, to be honest, that thing was built pretty well. I mean, it looked good. Obviously it didn't rust. It was stainless, and it sounded good. It definitely had a drone, but it sounded good, especially when you wide open. And so I had to stop at a gas station and threw some water on the exhaust. Obviously it was very, very hot. So I took the little hangers off, and what I realized was the welds from the muffler section and then the pipe that comes from the catalytic converter up to the muffler pipe had busted because it was a two-piece exhaust. Now, obviously when that happened, it just completely came apart, and it was extremely, extremely loud. And of course it was like, I don't know, 8:30 at night because I just got done fishing with my dad. And I had to come home, and of all things, I had to go in early the next morning, which means normally I got to go to sleep by, I don't know, 9 o'clock the latest. So no, I was up till 11:30 putting the stock exhaust back on. Thank God I still have it, or had it. But with a stock exhaust, after hearing it really loud for a while, it just doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sound right. You got to have something. You got to hear the shifts better. You got to hear the downshifts better. You got to hear the rev matching better. So I started looking online for exhausts, and they're expensive. They're very expensive, even the cheap ones. I mean, $300 or $400 for just a muffler, and even then, that's like an eBay thing. So
the whistles got woo, woo, woo.
I wanted to try something different. I started looking up, you know, modifications to the exhaust. That's what I came across the UK mods. And like I was explaining earlier, the UK mods, if you can imagine a muffler, well, the exhaust system's on an S2000, two mufflers obviously, one on each side and the back. It wires off after the catalytic converter or test pipe, I'm sure a lot of you guys have. And when it wires off and goes to the back, there's two mufflers. Well, each muffler, the exhaust goes through once, and then I guess bounces around in there, and then comes back out and then back through again. Now, I don't know all the mechanics of it, but that's kind of basically how it works. Well, the UK mod is you bypass one of the go-throughs for the muffler, and I doubt you ever see anything because it's bright out here and it's hot on the ground. And let's see if I can get up under here, but so that's where it normally goes through the first time. Then what I hope you see here and over there is just a little cross pipe that bypasses the original exit for the exhaust. So what that does is gives you a little bit more tone, a little more throat. It actually does pop and crackle a little bit, and it sounds great. I mean, it's for, you know, I think I paid the guy like $150, maybe $125 to do it. And I dropped it off, and like 3 or 4 hours later, called me up and said, hey, you're done. Come back, pick it up. And when I did, I was like, yes, this is absolutely the perfect call. That is exactly what I needed, exactly what I wanted. I couldn't want anything. Look how terrible this bumper is, by the way. 177,000 miles on this thing. Look how terrible that bumper is. It's been painted once. When I bought it, sorry not to get off subject, but when I bought the car, it had 90,000 miles on it. You can probably see that the paint color is different too. I'm pretty sure the bumper is the AP2 yellow, and the, oh yeah, that was a good one. And the rest of the car is obviously Spa AP1 yellow. Obviously the paint job was terrible. It's cracking, it's pitting, it's doing all sorts of nasty stuff, and I'd really just rather wrap the car, but I don't know, man. I really don't like spending a whole lot of money on this kind of stuff because I'm afraid it'll just keep on happening. A lot of rock chips and everything, but okay, well, back to exhaust. I'm really the only one that ever drives this car. The last time somebody drove this car other than me, I had the real loud in-one exhaust on it. Of course, it was the single pipe that came out the side, and I never heard it outside of just me driving the car. So who drove it? I think it was my dad. My dad and my grandfather took it up the mountain And my grandfather actually ended up having to take his hearing aids out because the old N1 exhaust was way too loud and causing his hearing aids to have issues and hurt his ears. So, but anyway, the UK Mod is absolutely fantastic. If you're not looking at spending, you know, $400, $500, $600 on an exhaust, or even $1,200 for one that you know is you know, top quality and is going to give you what you want as far as, you know, being loud and not raspy. And so, I mean, the last thing you want to do is pull out of somewhere and people think it's a, you know, 93 Civic or something. The UK Mod's definitely the way to go. Okay, and I don't know, I wonder if I can get some just rev shots from back here, because I did do the driving shots, but I don't think I ever actually like revved it up. So I'll do the old Ricer rev for you guys. How about that? Does that sound good? Do the Ricer rev. So there we go. That's what it sounds like. Hopefully the actual action shot of me going down the road will be pretty good. Man, she looks good. She looks good. Being 14 years old and having 177,000 miles on it, can't beat it. I still thrash around a little bit. Not too much, obviously. Not too much. It's still the same clutch in it that I had when I bought it. So that's 86,000 miles now that I put on this car. Stock, oh well, I'm not going to say stock clutch because I don't know if the original owner had the clutch replaced or not, but it was a Florida car and I don't know who owned it, but the clutch is still good, so they probably had it replaced, but it still feels good, so I'm not really going to worry about it until I absolutely have to. And then I'll try to make a video of me replacing the clutch in it, but I might just say screw it and have somebody else do it, because I don't really know if I'll ever have the time. I've been working a lot lately, a lot. And with the 2 kids, and my wife likes to write books on the side, there's just not a whole lot of time for anything else. What else can I say about this car? I mean, I haven't put a whole lot of money into it. I do keep it up. I do like to do nice things for it. You know, basic stuff, paint the calipers, I got different rotors, I got drilled, not slotted. Obviously slotted will wear your brake pads out a whole lot more. Now these tires I've had on there for a long time. The rears blew out on me about 1.5 years ago and had to get those replaced in the middle of the night. So they do not match at the moment. I've got Yokohamas on the front and Goodyear Eagle Authorities on the back. Those are Walmart brand tires. I was in a pinch. I couldn't help it. I had to get tires on my car so I could go to work. But these S4s, I mean, the S4s are on the rear when they blew, and they did not blow because they were bad. They blew because I ran over something. Well, one of them blew, so I had to get 2 of them replaced. But these Yokohama's been pretty good. Advan S4s. I don't even think they make them anymore. But great tire. They've lasted a good while. Great grip. They don't wobble at all at speed. Really nice. Goodyear's last pretty good too. I mean, this is the second set of rears for the one set on the front, and I could probably do beginning of next summer. I'll probably do for a full set of front and rears. But tow hook cover came out the winter before last. Had a bunch of freezing rain and got up under there and popped the cover out. So I just went and put the hook in. Oh, look at that, it's still loose. Yeah, put the hook in it, plastic dipped it, you know, whatever. Paint still shines pretty well, Probably got some wax still built up there. Oh, it's all dirty as could be already. I need to wash it again. Wait till later this week. We've got another Cars and Coffee this coming Saturday, which is, let me look at my phone real quick. I think it's the 23rd. Yeah, Saturday the 23rd. Panera Bread at Tanglewood Mall in Roanoke. Usually about 8 to 11 in the morning. Yeah, it's mostly Euro guys. A lot of Audis, Volkswagens, a few BMWs. Of course, it's a car meet, so you're gonna get a little bit of everything. Mustangs, older cars. I think the guy that actually allows us to go over there and has talked to the people that own the mall has an old Firebird or old Charger or something. So, you know, it's a little bit of everything. Of course, my car, I'm not really gonna show it. I'm just gonna park it. But a few Subarus, that kind of thing. Audi R8, that guy will show up. Buddy of mine's got a real nice S5. It's got a V8. It's got the 4.2 liter in it. A real nice S5. I'm trying to get him to get a nice exhaust for it, or maybe paint his wheels, but no, he won't do it. He likes shiny stuff. So I think I'll cut this off here, and I'll get another video soon. Peace.